Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us. My name is Johnny Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. I was a software engineer in my early career, became a business person, and for the past 20 years or so, I've been helping organizations make more informed decisions. Today, we'll talk about supercharged BI reporting and AI with next generation analytics. So let's get rolling. Probably the reason you're here is because you're investing in nurturing a data-driven culture. You have data in your systems, your ERP, your CRM, your payroll, Google Analytics, Excel sheets. You have data all over the place. How to make more informed decisions from your data? How can you nurture your data-driven culture? Well, first of all, if you have all of these digital systems, be sure that you're using the reporting tools as much as possible. There are many reports, dashboards, and KPIs that the best way to get information is from within your systems. Again, ERP, CRM, payroll, and whatnot. So be sure to leverage those tools. However, when and why should an organization invest in a business intelligence platform? And here's a big why. If you're really committed to a data-driven culture, there's no way around. You'll have to invest into a business intelligence platform sooner or later. So let's talk about when you should start to invest in a BI or business intelligence platform. I'm going to go through a couple of use cases from some of the clients that knock on our door. The first example is an inventory planning use case. One of our clients, before they became a client many years ago, they had this complex inventory planning reporting. It was done on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday, the business analyst would allocate the full Wednesday to do the inventory planning. Exporting data out of the ERP and other systems into Excel files, manipulate, aggregate, double check, and pretty much was a full day work. And she was saying on a good day, she would finish in a few hours, 4 or 5 hours. Most of the time, they were not good days. It would take much longer. Excel would crash. She would send the reports to people. People would dispute the numbers because it's an error-prone process. It was messy. It was time-consuming. It was only once a week. Obviously, management was frustrated, and the business analyst was spending not only Wednesday locked up in this report, but many, many hours validating when people are disputing the numbers. Not very efficient. So that's one example of before BI, a painful process. Second use case, a company also called us, and they had this very complicated sales commission structure that they could only calculate, next month when they were trying to get commission for the prior month. It would take 5 full days of one person figuring it out, the commission, slow, error-prone, time-consuming. They were flying blind. We'll talk about how BI is solved, but these are examples of before BI, and you're hearing the limitations of your systems and doing a lot of work outside. Summarizing, for decision makers, the main challenges that means you need to go to BI is reports are slow. Either by when you press the button, it takes too long to run a report. Usually when we tell people that if a report takes longer than 10 seconds is too slow. Every additional time you add to 10 seconds, you lose a lot of the audience. So slow reports is not good. You have to invest in BI to solve the kind of problem. Or you can only see a report in a certain day, only Wednesdays, only next week, only next month, only next period. That's usually not good. Decision makers also, they like to slice and dice their data, try to find the outliers. And if you're not being able to slice and dice your data, it's an indication in BI. And also, what KPIs should you keep track of? KPIs are key performance indicators. So if you don't know, if you are feeling that you should have more KPIs, that's also an indication you need BI. So these are some of the main pain points for decision makers. For the business analysts, the people that actually do reports, some of the pains are too much work. If you're working in mechanical all the time work that is not very intelligent, it's just mechanical, BI can help. If you have too many, we call Excel hell, too many Excel sheets all over the place is a nightmare. BI can be needed. If you have too much data to report, quite often it becomes a nightmare. BI can help. If you need to consolidate data across data silos, BI can help. And if you have complicated data governance, be sure that only the right people can access the right data at the right time, BI can help. So summary of the pain points of traditional systems reporting in that BI is the solution for those pain points. I'm going to show now DataSelf. DataSelf is a business intelligence platform. And pretty much what we do is we supercharge business intelligence and reporting. So pretty much, the starting point is having your systems, your ERP systems, payroll, Google Analytics, Excel sheets, Google Sheets, you name it, any system that you have. So that's the starting point, and you're having the challenges that I just talked about. So how do we go about supercharging BI? We plug and play what's called a data warehousing, modeling, reports in AI framework. So kind of plug and play into your source systems. The first component is the ETL plus. ETL means extraction, transformation, and loading. Is an AI-powered, no-code, low-code, full-code platform that can easily get your data from any or all of your systems and easily insert into a business intelligence platform. First step is usually a data warehouse and build what's called a single version of the truth. So ETL Plus is an amazing platform to get data from systems, input in BI. Step 2 is what we call the DFT Plus. DFT means dimension, fact, and time modeling. Is a way to take the raw data from your systems and build metrics, build KPIs, aggregate the data in a way that makes easier reporting. There's a big value in this modeling. In the next 2 slides are fairly technical. I'll keep it at the high level, but it's only 2 slides that are fairly technical, talking about the DFT modeling. So the first thing is what we call the star schema. Star schema is to take your raw data, let's say your sales, your GL transactions, your inventory planning, your project accounting, your payroll. So you take the transactions and you put around the ways you want to aggregate your data. For sales would be your customer, your products, your ship to, your salespeople. If you're looking at a project accounting, you have your consultants, your clients, your projects. Pretty much star schema is the foundation to make BI be easy and be fast for decision makers. So very well established technology. Probably most of you that are more technical have been using star schemas. But then recently, star schemas got to a whole new level. And the next slide can be overwhelming, but it's going to be short, is the galaxy schemas. Galaxy schema was a theory for like 20, 30 years, a great idea that never panned out really in BI. But for the past 5 years, galaxy schemas finally became reality. And the idea is with BI, you can put all of your transactions, from, let's say that you have a CRM, you have people knocking on your door as an opportunity, as a lead, becomes an opportunity, becomes a contract, a sales order, a shipment, an invoice, a receivables, aligning the P&L. All of these different data points, they're all together in the star schema, in the galaxy schema, and you can easily build reports with all of these different data points in a single report. So even though this looks complicated, in behind the scenes is complicated, we already have kind of solved a lot of the galaxy schema, data points. But for reporting, it's amazing how decision makers can have a 360-degree view of their business easily inside of a single report. So Galaxy Schema is an amazing platform for BI that can help decision makers make more informed decisions anytime, anywhere. So that was the pretty technical 2 slides. So once we have the DFT in place, the ETL and DFT in place, now you can plug different data platforms in visualization tools. We work with many. These are the most popular: Power BI, Excel, Microsoft Fabric, and Tableau. We have lots of clients with all of these platforms, and we have an extensive support to automate them. We also have some other platforms like ClickView, Looker, Domo that we also support. But what I'm showing here, the most popular, we can help you choose which one is the best fit for you. But it's a visualization platform that will leverage the data warehousing in the DFT modeling. Now, on top of this, we have what's called the KPI Plus. KPI Plus is once you choose a visualization tool like Power BI, Excel, and Tableau, you actually want to see KPIs, reports, dashboards. And in DataSelf, depending on your industry, depending on what you're looking for, we have up to 8,000 reports, dashboards, KPIs out of the box that plug and play using tools like Power BI or Tableau into your system. That's why we supercharge. There's a lot of ETL modeling and KPIs ready to go. If you take a picture of this QR code, you go to our complete list of KPIs for both of these products. You can see the whole list. It's a lot. So quite often I tell people, instead, take a look at the screen of this QR code. And these are the most popular KPIs, about 40 out of 8,000. In each one of these popular KPIs, we have 2-minute videos showing the use case and how they work. So feel free to explore those KPIs. Finally, once you have all the DataSelf solution plugged to your system, deployed, you have picked what data visualization tool you want, you connect the DFT, the KPI, all of this deploys in hours. This whole thing is plug and play. What's going to happen is your decision makers will have actionable insights at their fingertips anytime, anywhere, and your business analysts will be a lot more empowered to be sure they can use the BI platform to help decision makers be more self-sufficient. All of these components are AI powered, and today we'll show you a little bit of all of this thing that we're talking here. At the end of the day, summarizing the main benefits of DataSelf. For decision makers, reports will be automated, and when you open a report, you see the result in seconds. Our rule is all reports should run under 10 seconds, anytime, anywhere. And we pretty much deliver that promise. The other benefit is if you want to slice and dice your reports in dashboards as a business user, you can do it without calling for assistance. It's amazing how empowering it is. I will show a little bit an example shortly. It's all AI powered, and I'll show some examples of popular AI use cases. And as I mentioned, there are a lot of KPIs ready to go that hopefully many of them will help you find KPIs that maybe today you're not paying attention to. So from a decision maker value, that's main benefits. If you're a business analyst, first of all, a lot of the mechanical things you're doing today, the tool will automate for you. You're going to have a lot more time to focus on intelligence things that only you can do as a business analyst that knows the business and knows the tools. Amazingly, focusing on your intelligence, not in your mechanical work. No matter how much data you have, BI can handle and can make reports run really, really fast. If you have multiple data silos, data systems, it's amazing how you can consolidate them using ETL Plus in the DataSelf data warehouse solution. The security framework for data governance is enterprise grade. You can be very granular controlling who can access what and when. And again, the whole framework is AI powered. There's a lot of automation coming with the AI functionality. Having said that, let's jump into the product presentation. I will show first, some ad hoc analysis to show how business people can actually do ad hoc analysis without calling for assistance. I'll show a few of the popular KPIs we have in our library of 8,000 reports and dashboards. I'll show a little bit of the server side that we have. And I also talk about 3 popular AI use cases in this webinar. So let me get out of that. Let me just reload here. As I go through my presentation, I'm going to be showing Tableau and Power BI as the user interface. Which one I'm using pretty much doesn't matter. They both work in a very, very similar manner. In the reports and dashboards that we have in both. So for us, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. The functionality, the benefits at the end of the day is about the same. So the first example that I'm going to show is not a flashy chart-based, it's not, is because a lot of business users, they just want a grid that shows information that they're looking for specifically. And they don't have the report ready, but they want to find that information. For this use case, we have built what is called the slicer. And there is slices for revenues, for GL transactions, for sales, for inventory, for project accounting, for field service, for CRM opportunities, for payroll. We have slicers all over the place that is easy to customize. I'm going to use the revenue slicer as an example to show how powerful it is for business users. So when I open the slicer, right now it shows me revenues by customer, and I see for all the years in my database, I have sales by year. All right, pretty straightforward. Well, I just want to analyze last year, which in my sample database is 2030. Super easy. I go there and I select only 2030. Right now, the report just show me 1 year. Well, I want to see things by period. In everything in the framework, if you put the mouse over and you see the plus, it means you can drill down to the next level. So I'm going to drill down from the year, and now it's showing by period. The way that you drill down from year down is part of the DFT, the T as time. You know, how do you want to do time analysis? By year, by period, by year, by quarter, by period, by day, by year, by week, but whatever you want to slice and dice. We use the T as time to create your time buckets. Maybe you want to analyze your data by day of the hour of the day. We can do that. We can help you customize the system to slice and dice the way that you want. Once you have the modeling done with the DFT, as a business user, you just click and drill down. So right now I'm seeing sales by customer for all months. I don't want to see all months. I just want to see, let's say, the first 3 months. Super easy. You pick 3 months, press apply, and now you narrow to whatever that you want. If you want to compare 2 years side by side, you click 2 years side by side, and bingo, you have the answer 2 years side by side. So super easy to analyze time periods. Let me go back to just 1 year, but I don't want to see sales or revenues by customer. I want to see by something else. That's what the slices are for. So you come over here and you pick something else. This list is pre-configured out of the box. It's part of our KPI Plus framework, but this can be customized. You can remove, you can add an unlimited number of custom fields to use slicers. Once this has been customized, then the business user, you don't have to worry about all these things, technical things, doesn't matter. You just pick and choose. I want to see sales by salesperson, revenue by salesperson. I choose salesperson. Now the report, they were showing customer, now it's showing revenue by salesperson. I want to break it down by something else. Now you see the plus here again, means I can drill down. I click the plus, and now I'm going to the next column, and I have customer. Sure. Revenue by salesperson by customer. I want to drill down again. I expand it again. I go to the next slicer. You pick something else. I'm going to pick, in this case, item. You got the idea. You can keep on drilling down, picking a different slice, and the tool keeps on giving you the results instantly, accurately, and you can also choose different measures. I'm looking at sales, maybe you want to see something else, or 2 different measures. You just pick whatever you want, and then the tool will automatically render that information. This slicer functionality is in the top 5 most popular features in DataSelf. A lot of business users use it because the training is pretty much what I just showed you. It's very straightforward. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, forget it. But if you got it, you can do a lot of slice and dicing, build reports, save them without calling for assistance. Super powerful. All right, so that's the first template, not flashy, no charts, but very popular because of the slice and dicing and giving users the power to do it themselves without calling business analysts. Let's talk about a chart-based dashboard. Kind of busy at first, but let me tell you the vision. This is a typical dashboard that business users want to view. They want to view their KPIs. And when they see outliers, they want to be able to slice and dice it and find the outliers. Why this is great, why it's terrible. I'm using this particular dashboard, which is part of the out of the box. The 8000 is one of the most popular. It's one of the most popular because it shows in this example year over year variances. This could be quarter over quarter variances, could be month over month variances, could be any kind of, depending on the time, this dashboard, this framework can be applied to different time periods. If you have a seasonal business based on the year, well, you're going to be using the year over year, which I'm going to show in this example. You pick the year, you pick the periods, and in this example is showing on a year-to-date basis through period 9, total this year, total last year, also, year-to-date, variances in dollar and percentage. In the dark blue shows also as a trend analysis. The light blue for last year show also here. So this year and last year, what's happening on a period basis. In this case, it's showing by geography. Bubbles is the revenue. Color is it growing or declining? Then I can see customers and products last year, this year, in the variance. So it's an example. You can easily customize it. But and again, this is showing revenues. This could be payroll, could be expenses, could be anything in the out of the box. But the beauty is, once as a decision maker, I see this dashboard, I want to see outliers. So how does that work? Let's say I'm looking at this dashboard, it's looking pretty good, I'm growing. What's happening in Texas? I put the mouse over Texas and I see that it's growing by 11%. I want to see what's happening in Texas. Pretty cool. I click Texas bubble, and now the dashboard fine-tunes only to Texas information. Total this year, last year, the growth 11%, trend analysis, customers and products in Texas. Now, while Texas is growing by 11%, when I look at my customers, I see that this customer has a major decline. Uh-oh, why? What's happening? I mean, why this customer is declining? Well, I select the customer, the dashboard changes again to only show in Texas for this customer totals, trend analysis, and items. And maybe now I want to see which items are driving the decline. I can just sort any of these widgets. I select what I want to look at from an item standpoint. And then at this point, I want to see the details. And now finally click, show me the details. And then from the big picture numbers, I now can see transaction level detail. I drill down all the way to the details. Maybe I want to drill across to see, is this customer paying the bills? Is this customer late? Do we have items to fulfill the orders of these customers? All of these data points are all integrated with the Galaxy schema. They're all together. And I can easily go from the top to the bottom into the sides of my data. As a business person, I don't have to worry how to link. I don't have to worry. All your data becomes together. Very powerful. And this is what decision makers need. They need to see the KPI at a high level. When they see outliers, great or terrible, they can see the why, slice and dice until they find the why. And then use it as an action. Call someone, ask the employee why this is happening, call the customer, what's happening with the orders. And without this kind of, business intelligence solution like DataSelf, what I just showed in these two use cases, the slicer in the year over year, if you don't have this, pretty much every click that I did and I changed, pretty much if you're not using, becomes a new report. And good luck. Ask the business analyst to create a new report. And when they come back with the report, maybe in a few hours, in a few days, you ask another question, wait another, hours or days. It takes forever to make informed decisions. And with DataSelf, things become easier, faster, and pretty much real time. So now that I showed these two main examples, I'm just going to show more quickly some other examples of KPIs. Very popular one, cash flow projection. This example shows cash on hand today, what's coming in from AR, what's coming in from SOs, what's going out as an AP, as payroll, and then you see as of today how much money you have on the bank, bars going up, money coming in, bars going out, money going out, and the black line is what's supposed to be your cash flow based on these transactions coming in and coming out. If you see something that you are puzzled, why this AP is so big on this day, when you click here, the right side is going to filter to only show you the transactions specific to the data point. Again, slice and dicing, drilling down, drilling across as needed. Very powerful. Another popular use case of BI for inventory projection, inventory planning. We have many clients that are distribution companies, manufacturers, that they want to see and be able to source their items either by purchasing or sourcing raw materials and producing more. And pretty much you look at what you have on hand today, what's coming in from PO or work order, what's going out as SO or projected sales, and then throughout the future, you can make an inventory planning. And if it's red, you're going to run out of inventory based on your safety stock. If it's black, you're going to be good. So this also can help a lot with automating a lot of the inventory planning functionality. I'm going to show two more examples. If you are in the professional services, construction, field service, work in progress. So everything that I showed you before, as far as slice and dicing, you can also slice and dice work in progress kind of reporting. If you're managing with people projects, you usually want to have Gantt chart and slice and dice it. And yes, you can extensively slice and dice them. So I just showed you a handful or so of KPIs out of 8,000. And again, we have KPIs by industry, by department, by ERP, by CRM. Depending on your needs, you might have dozens, hundreds, or up to 8,000 out of our KPI plus library of reports and dashboards. Now I want to show you the AI use cases. And before we jump into the AI use cases, nowadays, AI is all over the place. It's a little overwhelming, it's a little bit scary, and it's also amazing. Nobody knows exactly, what the future holds, but there's a lot of fluff. Absolutely, there's a lot of fluff in the AI. Many times it's more fluff than reality. A lot of the fluff, hopefully, eventually will become reality. Hopefully, AI will never replace humans as much as some people are predicting. So hopefully not. We really don't know. But there are a lot of use cases in AI that are already adding a lot of value. So there's a lot of fluff and a lot of value. The other interesting news is if you are really focused on AI, I encourage you to call us to discuss what you're looking for so we can be granular and talk specifically how we can help. And there's a lot of cool things around BI that helps AI. There's a lot of things that's very critical. But if you're not yet, no problem. We have a lot of customers. We have a very small number of them that are heavily investing in AI and seeing a lot of benefits. So there is tangible, real benefits. We have a small number of clients experimenting with it. So many people are just touching, trying to see what's happening. And there's still a big chunk of our clients are not using AI on the reporting side of things yet. So if you're one of them, you're part of the majority. But if you want to, leverage it, there's a lot of great stuff about it. I'm going to give 3 different AI use cases to talk for those who are already using it or testing it. The first AI I'm going to be showing, it's a very straightforward, pretty much all enterprise-grade platforms like Power BI, Tableau, and Click, and Looker, Domo, they all offer this kind of functionality. Office also kind of has it. Is the natural language side of it. Just like ChatGPT, you ask a question, the AI will look at the modeling that you have done, your sales, your expenses, and will give you instant answers accurately. I'm going to show an example here. So this particular natural language kind of functionality right now is looking at the revenue side of the business. And as a business user, I just need to ask the question. Some good news is pretty much doesn't matter what language you speak, the AI will understand your question and will give you the answer, because nowadays most of the AI tools, they are language agnostic. They understand any kind of language. So I'm English. I'm going to write here, give me the top 5 items by sales. So I just plain type in English my question. I press enter, and the tool will instantly, accurately find my top 5 items and show in this case as a chart. Super easy. Cool. All right. Well, actually, I want to see this by ship to state. So I want to break down my top 5 items by state. Just wrote it, press enter, and the tool will automatically think, how can I show this information? Because you asked for ship to state, nicely, beautifully, it put on a map. And then for every one of my items, it gave a slice. So bigger bubbles, bigger sales, and the slice relates for each of my top 5 items. Pretty cool, pretty amazing. Well, many people in my audience, I'm pretty sure they are kind of, accountants, and they want to see the numbers by the penny. They don't want to see charts. Sometimes they're turned off by charts. Of course, you can say, show me this on a table. Pretty much, I'm using plain English to tell the tool, and the tool will instantly, accurately return the results. This is not a magic wand. It will not answer all your questions. It will not. It will hallucinate sometimes, yes. But it is amazing how many times, once you understand the language, kind of, not the language, but how the AI interprets your questions and how the modeling of the data return your results. It's amazing how many people will find the answer to their questions in plain natural language, English, Spanish, whatever the language it is. It is awesome. Again, we have a small number of clients using this effectively, and they're very happy. We have some clients that have tried to give this to business users, and they said, no, not a good thing, and they disabled from the end user. So you have that kind of control. You can enable or disable it. All right, so that's the first use case. Very straightforward, very focused on business users that can actually have this conversation with the AI. Now, the next one, I'm going to use one of the Tableau functionality. Power BI has an equivalent one. I'm going to use Tableau because this I like their UI. This is not for the regular business user. It's for business users and business analysts, or people that are a little bit more data friendly. They're not scared about seeing a bunch of questions. So I'm going to show how amazing if you're one of these people, not scared of trying to get answers using AI. I'm going to create a new metric, like a new KPI. And you're going to select what is the data that you want to pull from. In my example, I'm going to use sales. I want to see a sales KPI in my AI engine. Okay, I'm going to look at my sales data. I'm going to give a name to this KPI, sales, monthly sales. Sure. All right. Then what is the metric that actually want to drive this KPI? Well, it's a sales metric. I can have gross profit, quantity sold, whatever is coming from my sales. In my example, I'm going to choose the sales metric for my modeling. I want to aggregate what I'm going to do, how I want to use the T as the time to slice it. Well, I want to use the invoice date to slice that particular metric. All right, you just keep on selecting, very straightforward, and the tool starts to understand, start to build what you're asking. How do you want to slice and dice it? I want to slice and dice it by my customer, by my product, and you just keep on choosing what you want to slice and dice, by salesperson, by ship to, by territory, whatever it is. You keep on adding, okay? So there's a bunch of options. I'm not going to go through all of them, just the basics, right? I selected the measure, I gave a name, I selected the measure, I selected the time that I want to slice and dice it. In a few filters, customers and item, I click next. There's a bunch of things here, what I want to do, I want to compare. I'm not going to go to all the options. I'm going to keep on going next. Do I have a goal? I can have a goal that is based on some Excel file. I'm not going to do any goal. But here I can tell if the value goes up, it's sales. Is it neutral? Is it good or is it bad? No, it's good. If sales go up, it's good. Sure, click favorable. I'm going to stop now with the settings just to tell you how amazing the AI is giving you insights. When I go to the right, as I pick those options, the tool is already making analysis out of the blue, all by itself. Monthly sales increased by 85,000 since last month. I didn't ask this question, it just gave me the information. Out of my 21 customers, 9 increased. And here it lists some of them, and the show is in green. If you scroll down, it shows by the item. And if you have chosen salesperson, ship to, it will be listing which of those slices have been growing since last month. If you scroll down by the same token, which ones have decreased? Red means decreased the most. So which customer decreased, which item decreased? And if you keep going down, the tool automatically found out a bunch of variations of the metric in the time you selected, by the slice you selected, and give you insights without being prompted. And sometimes some of those insights maybe you're not paying attention to. And if you want a specific slice that the tool didn't ask you, you can use natural language. Can you also show me? And then you type it in. So it's a little bit more sophisticated. You need to be a little bit more data savvy, but it's amazing how powerful this kind of framework is becoming. And there's a lot of things coming out every few months. If you look at these major AI engines coming out, there's new functionality, more value. Again, it's still all of them. They put a big warning: cautious. The outputs of the AI might be hallucinating. You have to always double check that this is true. And this is one of the main friction points of AI, because when you're using ChatGPT, it's okay to hallucinate, and then you can actually figure it out. In business, sometimes a hallucination can cost you a lot of money. So many people are not yet investing in AI for business because it's not yet guaranteed a correct result. And you don't want to give your decision makers to make informed decisions on incorrect information. So reality is, be aware of the power and the cons. See if you can apply to your business and use it cautiously. But if you know how to use it and you can control the process, it's amazing how much automation AI provides. The last use case I want to show you is actually, my demo box is down. This is on the back end of DataSelf. So when I showed you that the ETL plus, with the DFT plus, with the KPI plus, all of the backend of DataSelf, we have our own AI engine that helps with the modeling of your data, with the DFT modeling. And here I'm showing an example where if you go to the AI, the ETL plus AI engine, and let's say that in this case, I have 2 different ERP systems, Acumatica and Sage, in my data warehouse. And I would work to type in English, combine the customer list from Acumatica and Sage, and you press, give me the answer. The AI in the DFT modeling will look at the modeling of your Acumatica metadata, your Sage metadata, all of the modeling that you have done in your data warehouse, and it will give you the answer, give you like a SQL statement of how you can model whatever you're asking in plain English. It will give you the result. This is definitely for the business analysts. This is not for business people, but we already have many use cases where people are using the AI modeling on the ETL level to make data warehousing, cleaning, joining, union information, consolidating companies, multi-company, multi-currency, and make their work significantly faster Again, when you see the result, you as a human, intelligent human that knows the business, that really know the customer, you have to validate that the AI is giving the proper answer. On average, we have seen that when the answer is provided, about 80 to 90% of the work that a human will have to go through to get it done is done in seconds. And you can talk with it until you get the proper final result of the AI. And then you take that result, you fix whatever that needs to be fixed, you apply it, and usually you can get the modeling done significantly faster. All right, so that's pretty much the presentation, the demo. I hope you found the kind of fun and interactive. Let's go to the last few slides, another 5 minutes. So before, early on in this presentation, I talked about 2 different before BI use cases of companies that were struggling with their reporting, and what happened after they implemented DataSelf to their system. So let me talk first about the use case 1, the company with the inventory planning, only doing on Wednesday, full day, very time consuming, frustrating. Well, with DataSelf, that inventory planning report became completely automated. All the pieces that are mechanical became completely automated. They can run the report every day. So no more Wednesdays waiting. Every day people can run. The report runs in seconds, and then the business people have, the inventory people have to kind of, make their adjustments to actually come up with the final numbers. So humans doing what only humans can do. The BI doing the crunching, the heavy lifting of bringing, the data from inventory on hand, what's coming in, what's going out, what is the projection. So all of that mechanical things being automated. Business people, they wanted to slice and dice their inventory planning that before was almost impossible. Now they can easily, anytime, anywhere, they can just slice and dice their inventory planning. Maybe there's a big order coming, not there yet, but they want to factor in so they can adjust, or maybe an order is going to be canceled. So now they're super happy and they can focus a lot more energy into insights. Business people and the business analyst, this is saving a lot of hours per week for the business analyst to focus in helping the business move forward and not spending in mechanical non-intelligent work. Super happy client. The second use case, very interesting story, the complex sales commission. So it took us almost 3 months to untangle the beast and eventually completely automate the calculation of sales commission. So the CFO was super happy. Finally, sales commission, people can see growing throughout the month, day by day, how the commission is growing until the end of the month when they got the final numbers. Everyone happy. Now, even the most interesting thing was about a week after that we completely automated the commission calculation, the CFO calls me and told me, Johnny, let me tell you something. Now the commission calculation has been automated. I decided to look at the out-of-the-box solution, the KPI Plus that was sitting there for 3 months. I haven't touched. Only today I touched to see, okay, what else DataSelf has in the out-of-the-box? And he said that in the first few minutes that he was browsing through the KPIs, he found the KPI showing some major problems in their inventory management that nobody knew, nobody was looking at. And he told me, Johnny, if I had seen this report 3 months ago on day 1, I would have told you, forget commission calculation. We have bigger fish to fry. Sometimes the unknown is more critical than the knowns. Like in this case, you might have blind spots that nobody's paying attention to, maybe big opportunities that nobody's paying attention to, maybe big threats nobody's paying attention to. Part of the value of the DataSelf KPI Plus functionality is we have, again, thousands of KPIs that have grown over 20 years from companies looking at KPIs, have helped them, and hopefully some of them can be critical to your business to also address those missed opportunities or missed threats that are under the radar that nobody's paying attention to. So very critical also benefit. Pricing of DataSelf. We have three main editions. Essentials is for companies to up to 50 million revenues, and the pricing starts at $9.99 per month. The Pro edition is for companies to up $500 million per year. The entry price starts at $1,099 per month. Enterprise for any revenue size is for a little short of $5,000 per month. And the Essentials Pro and Enterprise is the full package. Everything that I showed you so far is the three editions cover kind of the same thing. ETL Plus alone, if you just need an ETL to do ETL work and you don't want our DFT Plus and KPI Plus, ETL Plus starts at $199 per month. All of these prices also include the deployment and training of the tool. So this price is all encompassing of the licenses as well as deployment and training. Because you're attending this webinar, if you decide to order DataSelf, we're offering a 15% off the first year SaaS for orders placed by December 15. Just contact us. You can see here the email and phone number. Having said that, if you have any questions, I only have a couple of minutes to cover because we're running out of time. Let me check if there's any questions here. There's a question here from Joe. How long does it take to get trained in DataSelf? Joe, good question. It depends on which part of DataSelf. For business users, if the business user is kind of data savvy, as I showed you, using natural language query, using the slicer, many times some business users, they just need to see the demo and they run with it. There's no need for training. They become self-sufficient. On average, we recommend a 2-hour training to get business users to know how to log to the system, how to find the report that they're looking for, how to look at the filters and slice and dice it. So on average, 2 hours of training for business users. Business analysts, people that usually going to be working on the visualization tools. Also, if you are, again, a ChatGPT kind of person and you can go to Google and slice and find information, usually you can do self-service training. If you need our assistance, more contextual to your own business, to your own ERP system and whatnot, we usually offer 12-hour training to get a pretty good in-depth analysis of using one of these tools to be very savvy. On the back end, ETL, DFT, KPI, data warehousing, it depends. We also have clients that need no training whatsoever. This is all enterprise grade, really well documented technology. So many clients need zero training on the back end. On average, it depends on the expertise of the users. People who are already SQL Server savvy, it's faster. Those who are not, take longer. So we have people that have been trained from 4 hours to 40 hours, depending on their level of expertise on the back end. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. We have some more questions, and we'll be answering them by email. Let me just show the last slide. I hope you have found this information informative. We're going to be putting the recording of the session on YouTube. So if you have questions, comments, if you want to discuss your AI, your reporting, your BI, contact us. We're here to first and foremost to educate you. If we are a good fit for your business, boy, we can help. We are 30-something people in our team, a bunch of data geeks that are here to help. Looking forward to see your challenges and help you develop and nurture your data-driven culture. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us.